Welcome back, Syndicate members. It is I, Joshua Mammoth, back once again in a new year with a brand new comic book review. And of course, Rachel is joining me again tonight for the review. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Wow, your makeup looks really good.
Oh, you're so sweet.
You just do that?
Of course.
This was a great find that we just happened to walk into.
I know, and we were so happy when we saw it too.
So we got this at Blackbird. I was just going in there for just some supplies, some boxes and some bags. And
so we had picked up so many comics, we're kind of running out of room.
Yeah, and then when I walked in, they had it right there in the front. Wow, my goodness. But it was right there in the front. I saw it when we walked in. It was like, oh boy.
So, we knew how to pick it up.
Yeah, and I picked up two of them. I was definitely amazed by this one.
Oh, I was so excited. And there was even a little special treat in the back.
There was. Actually, we didn't review this one. We're going to do this one later, like a short, but the Violent Freaks. Now, if you remember, Violent Freaks was from Video Gaga Volume 1. It was the game that they played.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another version of that. It's really good.
It was so great. And we didn't even realize that at first because you kind of flipped it over and you're like, hey, there's another little comic in here.
And
cool.
It actually folds out to like a full page. Like
looked awesome.
The way he did it is really clever.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Luis on that one. It was really great. So the Video Gaga Volume 2 though, first off, Luis.
That's awesome.
Oh, sorry, Trevor. Could you put the Video Gaga cover up? So right off the bat, I love this cover.
I do, because honestly, it's just one of the things I love. It's got just her right at the cover. She's got just her style there. I love her t-shirts. I just think they're always so funny. And
I don't know about you, but I think a lot of women like Video Witch, the character.
I don't know how you couldn't, though.
Awesome.
She's awesome. She states her opinion. She does not care about anyone or anything. And like I said, she's just got a really cool style, too.
Yeah, the styles is awesome. And the one thing that I like about her is she's very spot on in her reviews.
Oh, yeah, and she does not hold back.
She doesn't hold back. She doesn't really care who's listening. She's putting that review out there.
Oh, yeah, for everyone here. I love it.
So, are you ready to get into this biscuit?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so yeah, Video Gaga Volume 2. Obviously, this is a Luis Diaz comic. I'm a big fan of Luis Diaz. Nebulous Comics published this one. And he's like cranking them out.
I know. I couldn't believe there was a second one that we could pick up and actually do a review on. I was so happy about that.
And I'll talk about this one later. I gotta say it though, but at the end of this one in the back, he's producing a new comic that's not even a Video Witch comic.
That's right, and it looks really cool. I was excited about that one too.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that because the art, just that little brief, panel there is amazing.
Well, I'm a really big fan of his art to begin with, so I just think he's got a really cool style. So I'm just really excited about that next time.
For sure, yeah. Okay, so of course he's got a short in the inside cover here. Mm-hmm. Actually, I wrote this guy's name down. I think it was Nigel Duncan.
What a great name!
And he is apparently one of those geeks that knows it all.
Or thinks he knows it all.
Thinks he knows it all.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because I like his t-shirt though. I geek hard. I dig that.
Well, he does know a lot of stuff.
That's true.
I mean, his opinions may not necessarily be correct, but he does know the material.
And you know what? It's an opinion, so everyone's matters.
So it starts off where the little short here, where it looks like he's racked up some late fees.
Yeah, I mean, from 1910, I don't know if that's quite correct, but I mean, if that is, wow. Been paying a long time.
We have a great shot of the outside of the store,
which looks awesome. How nostalgic that looks! Yeah. I love it,
and it's great. I actually really love to just stare at Lewis's work when he does stuff like this.
Well, yeah, because you got to make sure there's no little hidden details or anything that you might miss. But I just love the detail that he put on it with just the different posters and everything that you would normally see at the video store.
And then new rentals for members. Yeah,
so funny.
For new members.
Yes.
Because last time I went there, I definitely paid. Go ahead, Trevor. So basically, what ends up happening here is Nigel has picked out Gremlins 2, the classic.
Gremlins 2.
Now,
yes.
have you ever seen Gremlins 2?
I actually have not.
Okay.
So I had to kind of look up a couple things. So of course I've seen Gremlins, but I never thought to see the 2. So when they were referencing the different
the cameo
scenes, I was like, what are you guys talking about? Hulk Hogan, John Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
what?
So basically, for the old dudes out there, so I'm an old dude, so I saw Gremlins 2 in the theater, and that's where the Hulk Hogan cameo comes in.
Right.
Because it's more of a theater style based one, you know, like the Gremlins got to the projector.
Yeah, and I actually looked it up. It was clever. I thought it was cute because it's like, what's that, fourth wall or whatever that they're breaking?
Oh, so does he cause I actually didn't look it up, but if I remember it correctly, he like rips up popcorn.
Well, he's like crushing the
Like,
popcorn,
he crushed
and
the
of course
Coke.
he's got to rip his shirt,
Yeah, he rips
and
his
very
shirt
Hulk
off.
Hogan of it all, which I loved. It was very cute. But then I looked up the John Wayne version, and
yeah, so the John Wayne one
say.
was on VHS, and so when that one came out, I remember my brother and I renting it, and we were like, "What is this?" Because we didn't know they had changed it for that.
So funny.
And so I don't think I saw the Hulk Hogan cameo in the full movie until it was on like a premium channel, like HBO
Probably. Yeah.
or something like that back in the day. Yeah, I kind of prefer the Hulk Hogan.
Well, I mean, I could obviously see why you do. I love actually John Wayne films, so I just thought that was funny. And then Bugs Bunny was in it too.
True. Yeah,
so.
the John Wayne one has merit. It's pretty funny, and it's like, you know, for a home video, it's more appropriate.
Oh, definitely. It made a lot more sense. But yeah, it was very cool.
Both of them are pretty good.
And I was very impressed they were able to do the cuts from because obviously John Wayne passed by that time, so they did cuts from different movies, and I was like, wow, they did that.
It actually fit in.
It was funny, yeah. Someone was clever with that.
So anyway, they get at Nigel and this other vampire type guy, I guess, get into an argument about the cameo, which cameo was the best.
Right, and yeah, and well, that was the thing too, is he's not actually a vampire. I think he's more of a bat, and they call him Bat Boy.
Well, if you remember now, Bat Boy was a guy that was on all the tabloids back in the day. And so, yeah, apparently Bat Boy kind of wandered into Video Witch this night, and had just happened to be in the store during this argument of the cameo. And he's a man of fine taste because he also prefers the Hulk Hogan cameo.
Right.
It's very fine, very fine. Mm-hmm. And so they get into a bit of an argument, and then I guess Video Witch is just getting kind of heated.
Of course, because her, she's got to put her 2 cents in, and she's just annoyed that they're just going back and forth with each other at this point, I think.
And that's when they call in, or they ask her for references and what
recommendations
and staff picks here, and I really liked her particular staff pick.
Well, I agree. Well, she kind of freaks out because you have Bat Boy, so she's kind of fangirling a little bit about
he actually reveals himself as being Bat Boy. She does kind of fangirl out.
Well, yeah, not necessarily reveals, but she kind of recognizes him as such.
Well, because he pulls his hood back and then he does the Bat Boy face. And then she's like, "Oh, it's Bat Boy."
Right. So she freaks out. She's like, "Oh yeah, if we can get this celebrity in, my store's going to go crazy." But she actually has her other little robot guy giving the first suggestion.
Yes, it's Sam. So remember Sam the robot? Well, actually, it's more of a cyborg because it's a brain and a floating device.
Right. It reminds me of that one thing, Krang.
Oh, Krang.
Kind of reminds me of that a little bit,
I was kind of thinking a little like maybe like Futurama because it has the head and the backs or something like that.
I like that.
Sam is just the brain though.
It's true.
So he's he works there. So
yeah, Sam's the upgraded version.
Well, actually, according to Video Witch, though, he's not upgraded because he keeps recommending the exact same movie.
Oh, maybe he just really likes the feral sex. I mean,
You know what? This was an interesting little clip here.
I kind of wanted to look up a little bit more of that one because I was like, wait, he switched because it was obviously a velociraptor and a woman, right?
Yeah. So, Trevor, basically, Sam recommends the feral sex.
Right.
And so they go into that film first. I'm really glad you're helping me with this one because I like jump way ahead. It looks like a mad scientist has hooked up a woman and a T-Rex and has switched their brains.
Yes, which I don't know why you would want to do that. I don't know, maybe like, soldier velociraptors like they're trying to do, but different version of it.
But he seems to be under the impression that he's perfectly safe because he's got the woman brain in the T-Rex, and then the T-Rex is just in a woman's body.
So he's like, the woman, she's not going to do anything to me. And, he was mistaken.
And I really like what Luis did here with this one.
Oh, it was very clever.
Yeah.
What I also thought was funny, I don't know if it's the right word, but you have to, really look, but she's got, one of those velociraptor little claws on her foot.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's, I think, how she was actually doing so much damage. Because I'm like, whoa, she got an upgrade on that.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was, right at the bottom. I was like, wow, that's a lot of detail. Because I was like, how is she able to,
She, ripped his arm off.
Ripped his arm, and there was, guts and stuff flying. I was like, wow, that's something else right there.
Well, that's pretty much when Video Witch cuts it off.
Right.
Because I guess she's already seen this film multiple times.
Yeah,
so.
She's like, we've seen it, been there, done that, let's move on.
That's when Video Witch recommends something rather special.
Very special.
It's her first review, and it's on VHS. And you know what? This is what I really love about Lewis's work here. It's the little details that he puts in here.
Yeah, and that's what's so special about it. It's awesome.
And specifically, when the tape starts to play, not only does he, of course, have the play, and it looks like a VHS, but he even put the distortion over some of the lettering, so it looks like the audio is a little, well, not bad, but, like an old VHS.
VHS would be. Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
When he does stuff like that.
You can just see how much detail, how much time, and everything that he put into it, and that's just really cool.
Okay, now, what she's reviewing, actually, I got it written down here, the girl in the photo.
Yes, in the photograph.
This was awesome.
Really cool. Another really cool story.
I could really sum it up real quick. There's a guy at a bar. He's looking at a photo, and the chick is, in the photo, and she's got, a little peace sign, right?
Right. She's like, oh.
A peace sign up. So he's, looking at the bartender going, hey, you seen this broad? And he's like, no, I haven't seen her. So then he looked on the dance floor and he sees the girl on the floor with the peace sign.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's my broad. And so he gets up and slips and ends up breaking his neck.
Yes.
And then the picture has her with number 3.
And I'm like, oh. It reminded me of kind of one of those Tales from the Crypt episode kind of thing.
Man,
I was like, oh, that's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love Tales from the Crypt because that show was awesome. And yeah, you're right. This was very kind of like that.
It's just they always had those weird little twists at the end, and you're like, oh gosh, that took a turn, Because if you look at it, he was spilling his own drink, and that's what he slipped on. Because he was so distracted.
You really
I told you, I really like this one. There was so much cool detail on it. But yeah, I thought that was really ironic that he was the one that spilled the drink that caused his own demise, pretty much. So, you gotta be careful.
Now, here's the real question. Now, is the girl in the photo a ghost that continually does this and kills guys because maybe she died in a bad drink slip?
Maybe it's not always the same way either. Maybe that's the other thing.
Oh, right.
Maybe it's just, it's just about murder.
Hit that bad ecstasy like on that Criminal Minds episode.
That was not cool.
So the guys don't seem overly impressed with the first show.
No, they're like, okay, let's see what else. I'm gonna browse a little bit. She's like,
I actually thought it was pretty good.
I know, I was like, what?
And actually, there was something I wanted to point out that becomes relevant later. Her tentacles on the show, the VHS.
Oh.
Okay, so it's like one on the shoulder. So I didn't actually know exactly what that was until one of the guys had asked her about the tentacles, and then there's a very interesting pic where you can't exactly see where the tentacles are coming out of, but
right.
You can kind of imagine where they're coming out of. So Video Witch has all kinds of surprises. Every time I read it, there's more surprises.
There really is. Yeah, I agree.
So this is where it really starts ramping up the humor, because one of the guys takes a video off the shelf.
Yes, and one that we've actually watched.
So this is one that if I remember right, I was like, oh, I got this old movie from the 90s. We gotta watch this.
And I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, hey, look, Eddie Furlong's in it.
I was like, all right, let's do this.
So it's called Brainscan.
Yes, and I was surprised that they were considering this a C movie. I actually really love this movie.
There's a funny story about this one, and Damon can attest to this. So we had a video store, and it was not a mainstream store. It was like a mom and pop video store, but it was in walking distance. And we would go there all the time and get stuff, and that's where we saw this Brainscan. Brainscan. So of course we had to rent it, and it actually, yeah, it's at the time I wouldn't consider it a C film.
No, I wouldn't. Even now, I think it was really cool.
You can't really judge a film by mid-90s CG.
Oh, compared to today's, yeah, that's just not even fair. I agree.
But the premise of the film was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
And so that's what they do. They end up watching Brainscan, and Video Witch is doing a review of it.
Yes, so she's going down, and there's even pictures from the movie itself, which I thought was cool. She even says, spoiler alert, because she does pretty much let it out there, but that's what I love about her.
Mm-hmm. Hang on one second. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. I had a technical difficulty there. And I actually really like the way Luis did this too, because it's almost okay. So if we go back to some of Luis's previous works, the Volume 1 and then the original Video Witch, there's always a section in there of a comic, and he always puts a Video Witch in there, making comments as we go. Now this one's a little different. So he's showing a little clip, but then he's got big descriptions. Right,
which I thought was really cool, because if you've never seen the movie, you can kind of follow along with what was going on already.
Right.
Her description and some of her views, I was like, dang, he's kind of harsh.
Well, she's right about Furlong being Furlong and everything that he does.
A lot of actors do that. And he's a kid. You gotta
it was John Connor in a horror film, basically.
Hey, he's a kid.
And even his friend in that was kind of like his friend from T2. That wasn't the same kid, but...
Oh, and she's making fun of their little bromance. I thought they were so cute together. I was like, please.
Hey, but she gave him props on his computer setup.
Oh, but she didn't believe that, because she kind of was dogging on, like, you little piece of, like, why are you getting all that? Which I do kind of agree with that. Because in the 90s, how do you have that?
It's because his dad was in some type of industry where he was getting well paid. And so, because at the beginning, Furlong dies, or not dies, his mom dies in a car accident with him in the car. And so his dad feels guilty.
Oh, so your compensation.
He compensates with Igor and all that.
Well, let's see what he gets. He's killing people now.
So the premise of Brainscan essentially is Michael Bauer gets it in the mail.
Right.
Because I guess he's on some subscription list or something like that.
To I think it was Fangoria.
Oh, man.
Right, Fangoria? Yeah, Fangoria.
I used to love that magazine.
I thought that was really cool. And that was something else Video, which I thought was funny. She was not liking the name drop of it all. She's like, come on, advertise better. But I was like, that's cool.
In the 90s, though, that was likely to happen.
Oh, I agree.
If they tried to name it something different, I don't think that was going to work.
It wasn't.
So essentially, he gets the game in. It's a CD-ROM, and it's
a CD-ROM?
says that it's interactive.
Yeah.
But he also has to dial in or something too, right?
I think it was actually calling in.
Okay, yeah.
So that part was a little strange, but again, we're in the 90s. They had to figure out something to do.
Well, he had that old school modem.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
so that brought back some nostalgia. So he calls in, it connects to Brainscan, and then he basically, it's like a first person experience of him murdering somebody.
Right.
And he has like a voice in his head kind of guiding him.
Yeah, almost like a hint screen, but it's actually a person talking.
Right, it's a voice, and so he commits this murder, and then he wakes up in the chair and he's like, wow, that was super intense. And I think he drinks like a whole thing of milk.
That part was great. Like, dang, kid.
And then he, I think after that, he ends up spying on the girl next door with the video camera.
Well, it looks like he had been doing that. So, of course, that was the creepy part. I do agree with Video Witch. But, you know, again, he's a teenage boy and there's a teenage girl next door.
And she didn't exactly, like, stop.
Well, it alluded to the fact that, she was actually letting him watch and that she was actually watching back, so.
Yeah, but he did have that video camera set up perfectly and got a shot right into her bedroom, like, window.
Yeah.
So,
you can't do that stuff nowadays.
Oh, no, you definitely
That's 90s stuff.
No. And so from there, I think he ends up finding out that the murder was real.
Because he sees the news or something, and then he was like, oh my god, like, that was me.
Right, and so now, from at this point, he has to start killing everyone that could end up turning him in.
Right, and that's like the new game goal, but it's not really a game, it's real life kind of thing. And it's even, I think he has to kill his friend or something too,
he ends up he kills his friend.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, he ends up having to kill his friend, and then I think he's supposed to kill the girl too, but then that's when he's like, no, I can't.
Yeah, and that's when he sees the pictures of himself that she's been spying and taking of him too, and he was like, oh man, I think that's what jogged, his teenage brain. He's like, I got a shot! So
I also wanted to point out too that the cop in it, Frank Langella, so he actually, Lewis put in that he was a Dracula, and he was, I think, in the 70s Dracula. But you didn't recognize him from DS9.
I was about to say, that's where I know him from, because he was a Bajoran.
Yes.
I can't remember his actual name, but he was one of the leaders that I couldn't stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was actually a Bajoran, and I thought he was great in that character. I had no idea he was even Dracula.
And guess what else? He was Skeletor in the live motion picture of He-Man.
He-Man, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. And Skeletor was awesome in that movie. I mean, the movie itself wasn't awesome, but he was really good in it. So I thought that was pretty
That
cool.
was cool. Yeah, again, I saw him and I was like, oh, that's right. He was in there. That's pretty cool.
And so, basically, long story short, he ends up killing his friend, and then I guess we should probably bring in the trickster.
I was just about to say, like, we need to mention Trickster, because he was kind of the voice you were hearing, but then he turns out to be this, and he actually, Video Witch has a great description. I wish I would have wrote it down now, but it was like some glam rock, crazy guy looking thing. But yeah, he does. He's very flamboyant. He actually reminded me of another character like that from the 90s, and I cannot place it, and it's driving me crazy.
Well, I actually liked the way the Trickster looked. I liked his
hair.
I
thought he was awesome.
I actually thought he was a pretty good character that could have done some other stuff.
And they said he wasn't scary. I'm like, he's scary the crap.
I wouldn't say he was scary, but I mean, he had a really good way of convincing you to commit homicide,
which is very scary.
So basically where Trickster comes in is he's telling Michael, hey, now you got to go kill this person. Now you got to go kill this person.
Or they're going to get you. And
right.
Blah, blah, blah.
And then he tells him why. Oh, because you left your bloody footprint here, or because you did this over here. And so Trickster's appearing to him when he doesn't even have the CD-ROM in.
Right, which was really scary. So he was like, oh my god, this is really messing me up now.
And so, he goes and commits these murders based off of what Trickster's telling him. And then, essentially, that him and Trickster get into a fight. There's this weird melding.
Super weird.
Thing that happens. Well, long story short, Bauer wakes up in his chair.
Yeah.
And it was the night of the party, so the girl's having the party next door, right?
It had only been maybe an hour or two. It had not been weeks or however long the movie had seen.
So it was
all in his head. It was a game. And I'm like,
but there was one thing, though, that Lewis or sorry, not Luis. There's one thing the video which did not mention. He trashes his room after this event.
Oh yeah, he like losing his mind. Well, I kind of would too. I mean, you think you are a serial killer now, and then you realize that was all.
And then he doesn't give his friend shows up. He doesn't give the game to his friend. He's like,
he's like, no, you can't do this, but he does give it to someone.
Yeah, the principal.
Which you deserve.
Now, with that being said, and I think they mentioned it in here, he was doing the creepy videoing of the chick in the game.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So we got to figure out, was he really creeping? Or was he creeping and she didn't know, but then since this was in the game, she was responding to it?
Well, see, I think that's what Video Witch had said, was that it was because in the game he was wanting that reaction, and that's why he thought of it that way, I guess. I don't know. That's interesting, though. I don't really watch the movie now.
Yeah. So afterwards, that's when, well, I guess the guys aren't overly impressed with it.
Yeah, they still are like, okay, like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, Sam wants to immediately talk to Video Witch again. And she's like, oh my God, like, I'm so annoyed by you. And they go in the back somewhere, and, Batboy and what, Nigel, are talking or whatever. And all of a sudden she's like, yeah, you need to get out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that was a turn.
So, she ends up kicking him out. And that's when we find out he's actually not the Batboy, but he's from the same colony.
Right. And he's like, hey, she assumed I never said. And I'm like, that's
accurate.
That's very true. She just fangirled out and just assumed that was him.
And he has a copy of Brainscan in his hand.
Yep. So he's like, all right. He was like, you want to go watch this? I just like, yeah, why not? Got nothing else to do now. She wouldn't give me rent.
But then kind of drops the hint that, I got to return the video, and then Video Witch's face at the end.
Yeah, she's not happy about that. Which I'm like, dang, how did she hear that?
Oh, well, speaking of good hearing.
That's funny.
Okay, so Video Gaga Volume 2. What did you like about this business?
What did I not like about this? I just liked everything. But what I liked was the customer himself, Nigel. I thought he was so funny looking. He's crazy. Not just bug-eyed, but they were like
yeah,
I don't even know.
He has that Quasimodo eye.
Hashimoto. And no, that is like a extreme case right there. But no, even not only the eyes, but his teeth, his nails. They gave just so much detail, and then that crazy bowl.
He looked like a Nigel, though.
It really did. Like if you have a Nigel in the dictionary, that's his face. It looked awesome though. But yeah, so that's something I liked about the book. How about you?
I really liked, I liked the whole Gremlins cameo references.
Oh, I actually like that too. I just thought that was really clever. And again, it showed me something that I didn't even know what was going on. So I'm like, what? And again, this makes me want to watch that.
I had completely forgotten about the two different appearances. And because like I said, I saw it in the theater with Hulk Hogan.
Right.
And then years later on VHS. So at the time, it was confusing. Yeah. But I also like the whole Batboy character.
Oh, actually, yeah. I actually really loved him. He was just awesome. I really liked him. He looked awesome. His just demeanor. I even liked his little bat wing.
Oh, the bat wing that doesn't actually fly.
And I just love that he just kind of went with the fact that Video Witch assumed he was Batboy. He's like, sure.
Let me get a free rental.
Right? Like, whatever you think.
What did you really like?
I just really like the story in general. And this is actually for all of those comics. I just love that setup of how she's like in a video store and she is like, giving a reference, but then she kind of does a summary of the video or the comic. And I just think that's really cool how that's done.
I really love that too. And actually, every time I get one of these comics, I know I'm going to be laughing.
Exactly, because again, Video Witch is just so funny.
Just her attitude in general is just so awesome.
I agree.
I put that I like Video Witch's tentacles.
Those were cool. I thought that was a really cool touch. I was like, wait, was that the last one?
Lewis always comes up with really good things.
Right?
I think there's one where she like hulks up.
Oh, that was so funny. I was like, I imagine that's how I get mad, and that's what
It's like she like hulks up and then like slaps the guys.
That's so good.
What did you think about, or did you really like the feral sentence?
I thought that was funny. I just love that Sam is just like, no, we're gonna review this. Okay, this is going to be the one. I mean, maybe he makes a cameo, and that's why he wants to.
I feel like I need to see more of this
right?
movie. It's sort of like Serial Apist. I really need to figure out what's going on in this movie. First off, okay, is this a mad scientist? Why is he switching the brains?
Obviously, that's
Does
a mad
he intend
scientist.
to have sex with the girl with the T-Rex brain now?
Why does that go there?
She's naked.
Oh, I guess that's true.
See?
Yeah, that was weird.
Can't put a hospital gown on? Nope, she's naked. Naked.
That was funny. No, but what I really liked too was the fact that imaginary Bat Boy and the customer start hanging out at the end. They're like, yeah, sure, let's go watch this.
Well, after that experience and that rundown.
I know, but in today's age, you don't do that.
Well, I can tell you though that Brainscan, when I got that copy, I had not seen it since the 90s. So I was like, okay, we might be in for a rough ride. But overall, the movie is pretty good.
Oh, no, it's really cool. I think it's a great concept, especially for the 90s. I thought it was really ahead of its time.
It's a total 90s movie. It definitely they could do something better with it now.
They really could, especially because virtual reality has become such a thing. That's almost what scares me about it.
Yeah.
I think about Brainscan all the time.
The trickster. I put that I really like the death scenes in this.
Oh, yeah, they were brutal. Well, honestly, the woman T-Rex, whatever she was, that was like probably one of my favorite ones. Cause,
I love that one, and then the one from the girl in the photo, the guy slips and breaks his neck too.
That was funny. Again, I just like the fact of that little twist ending that he was his own demise. That's funny.
Okay, what did you love?
Obviously Video Witch. Her attitude, her style. I want all her t-shirts, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but the one where she had the Japanese or Chinese symbols or whatever, that actually said witch.
Oh yeah, I saw his little tagline.
Yes, and I thought that was like,
and then actually on her first show, I think her shirt said "Just Die."
See, they're always so funny. I don't know why I want that, but I think so.
And actually, that's one thing I did love. I loved the first show. Not only did I love the actual first show of Video Witch doing it, but I loved the way Lewis actually drew this. Yes,
I thought that was really cool too.
Just the way that it kind of looked grainy and old, and then what he did with the lettering.
And then, of course, seeing the VHS, and it was just, I like it. It was really cool.
He really puts a lot into this, and you can tell. And man, this one was just so good. And I love that it's not just stuff thrown in there. It all makes complete sense. It almost just helps you go with the story more and just find out more details. And again, you really gotta almost look for like these little Easter eggs, if you will. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's tons of Easter eggs. I love it. I put that I loved that Sam was back. Oh, I do love Sam. I don't know what it is. A little brain floating around. That's just funny. I do like that character too. Something about him. I don't know. In fact, he has a name tag. Like you'll ever forget it. What else did you love? Honestly, I love the fact that they were talking about Brainscan. I was like, oh, whoa, I actually know this one. This is great. And I actually really liked the movie Brainscan, so I thought it was great. And I do love Trickster, so I thought it was just all fun. I also put that I love Video Witch's Brainscan review. Yeah. For sure. That was good. And she did make some very good points. Very valid points. Some I was like, man, harsh, but yeah. Very valid points. Well, I watch a lot of horror. And a lot. And Brainscan ranked pretty highly on my list as far as overall movies. Well, like I said, I was very pleasantly surprised by it because it's almost like I want to see a comedy in a way. It's got some funny parts. It does have some funny parts. It's definitely a horror, but which I'm not the biggest fan of horror because I don't like all the gruesome stuff as much. But that one was just, I don't know, it's just that good 90s feel that was funny. And to be honest, the scenes aren't as brutal as they
That's true.
could
Yeah,
be.
today's time they definitely get the gore
It's
out
not like
there.
he was putting them in a saw trap or anything.
See, I can't do saw.
It was just kind of a first person and then, kind of a knife going in. Or
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that game. What was that 64 game? Tuvok? Not Tuvok.
Tuvok. The game of Vulcan.
The game of Vulcan.
It's logical.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, those first person shooter games, those are really cool.
And overall, I like the way this book ended too, because we don't know what Sam told Video Witch.
Oh, I know.
But she was like, "Yo, you need to get out."
Immediately. I know. I was like, oh, she knows that. I mean, why would she be that mad? I mean, I guess she's very embarrassed, but.
Or not. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe she's just mad. I don't know. She kind of just mad about everything, so.
I relate.
Oh, that's great.
So all in all, I'm so happy I picked this book.
Oh, another awesome read. I just love it. As soon as we come out with another one, we'll definitely pick that up too.
That's also why we kind of had to bump this one up a little bit, because, well, of course, we kind of fell behind last month in the videos, but now we're catching back up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get this one in for the new year.
Oh, definitely. We were sad we didn't do it on New Year's, but did the best we could. But here we are, and we'll get that on a new flow for the new year, so we get all kinds of videos out.
And hopefully, we'll get to review Lewis's new book too that he has in the bag.
Oh yeah, we have to. I can't wait to read that one.
Yeah, like he dropped that little teaser on the very back cover, not the back cover, the inside back cover, and I immediately was.
I was like, wait, what's this one? Yeah, I was excited. He knows how to just get you in there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, just again another great read. Make sure you pick it up. We'll put all the stuff down below. You can even pick it up local if you're in the Central Florida area at Blackbird Comics. So
That's
we'll put
right.
that information down below. That's a great place to go.
Oh yeah.
Their coffee and everything. Oh.
And you can meet Enzo.
That's true.
Creator of Gut Ghost.
Another awesome guy.
Let him know Joshua Mammoth sent you. And then hopefully Lewis does have some more copies. Maybe he can post in the comments section. Let us know the status of that.
Because we cannot wait.
Hey, you know what? He needs to do like a 3-pack of the first 3.
I'll make sure I write that down and tell him.
I would totally get that.
Well, obviously we will.
I know, because I actually love my Video Witch card, my membership card.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I cherish that. I put that in like a necklace, like that Logan dude wears on the WWE.
Oh my god.
Pokemon card, but I got the Video Witch membership.
Don't compare yourself to that.
I'm just saying that's how much I treasure it.
That's so weird.
You got fingerprint recognition just to open the case.
Wow. That's a lot. That's how much he loves it.
Okay, well, and actually, we still got a lot more books to review.
Oh, I know. It's going to be such a fun year. 2024 is going to be awesome.
So, I guess I don't want to put out what we're going to do next. I'm not really too sure, but...
It's always a surprise.
Yeah, it's always a surprise. We're going to go through the stack and see what we got. And then also, if there are any other artists out there that do want us to review your comic, you can hit us up at the email address down below.
Oh, yeah. We would love to reach out and see what's going on.
Yeah, it does take me a couple days to respond back sometimes, so just be patient. My alter ego does have a full-time job, so he's out there cranking it so I can review it.
That's right.
So between the known and the unknown lies the mammoth. I'll see you.